Hey friends, this is Tracy Brown. I hope you're doing really well today. My team and I of non-diet dietitians provide trauma-informed nutrition counseling so you can feel safer in your skin. Thank you for, I know I said I was there a few minutes ago, but just got finished with my day, and you need to take a breath, and I encourage you to do that as well, to take a breath, feel your back against your seat and your your bottom being supported by your chair, and the chair having your back as well, or whatever you're doing and whenever you're listening to this. So I hope you all have had a not horribly unbumpy landing to your 2025. Of course, as always, our hearts go out to all our clients, our friends, our colleagues in California and places that are just horrific. So we're not carrying on here as business as usual, like things aren't happening. These are just things that we reach out to people, usually privately and all those kind of things. But, we are thinking about you, those who watch this. And if you're in survival mode, totally, I get it, So if there's a reach out, you need something specific you need, please message, there's something, if you just need thoughts or emergency meal ideas or whatever you need, please reach out. We don't want to make assumptions, of where you're at. So anyway, this live really is about roadmaps, because, oftentimes we start this journey, or maybe we kind of get off track and then know where to start. But if you don't really know where you're going, sometimes it's hard to know where to start. And so when we do our work with people, there's, when we do our own histories, like say that you do your own history, or you go to someone like us and you do like a first session kind of assessment, but kind of like you're telling your story, and it gives you an idea of like, well, where's a good place to start? What's too much? What's not enough? What am I ready for? Maybe I'm not ready for all, sometimes because our culture is so much like, give me all the information, but it's too much at one time. And so my encouragement today is do a little inventory of, one, like, what do you want to see happen? If your goal is to, I don't want to binge, or I don't want to be as afraid of food, or I want to feel comfortable. Well, we're not going to get like full body, like respect and maybe neutrality the first week we do this, but we could buy clothes that fit better, so we're not so body preoccupied just because our clothes don't fit. If you're wanting to never binge, can we work on binging less? And then before that is what are some of the mindsets, or what are some of the behaviors that kind of inevitably cause a binge? It's not just like I don't have any willpower. That's never the reason. It's this serves a function. What is that? Can we be observant about that? And maybe that's all you do for a week. Maybe it's, bringing awareness. I would say most of the time when we work with people, sometimes the first week people need a meal plan and we have the space to do that. Sometimes it's just adding one item, because if you've recognized, wow, I have a really hard time with like feeling very food preoccupied at night. And when we've looked at your daytime and we're being really intellectually honest, we recognize like, oh, all I'm having for breakfast is oatmeal, like a packet. And all I'm having for lunch is like a salad. Of course, by 3 p.m., I feel like I could eat the doors off the barn, You're going to feel that way, of course. So it's like, maybe we just start adding items to meals to get them to be a little bit more well-rounded and satisfied. And this applies to everybody. It's not just body size, small, medium, large. It's any place where there's been some deprivation, we have to heal that gap. And so maybe that's where you start. Maybe you're not starting with intuitive eating yet. You're doing mechanical eating, and then you're bridging it, mechanical eating with intuitive eating. And then you kind of start to take the training wheels, so to speak, off the bike. And you have another layer of flexibility. So think about all this work in stages, and not just, sometimes when there's so much to work on and so many things you want to see happen, we get kind of overwhelmed and maybe discouraged by like maybe how far we think we have to go. Here's this big glorious space we want to get to, but we got to start where we are. And what's our roadmap? And it's little steps. All right. So I'd love to hear in the comments for you, if you want to, is if you're already in this process, well, what little stepping stones did you take? And now you can look back in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, and you see how far you've come, but it didn't come in a 12-week program. That's just never how this stuff works. It's if you're trying to do transformation, you're literally replacing neural pathways. And how you do that? You do it with consistent new mindset and action, and feeling safer as you're doing the process, where you're not doing too much to where basically you just don't have the capacity to hold it as well. All right. And honestly, this takes a lot of humility, myself included. When I was going through this, I wanted to be better than I was. You know, I still had some pride in there of like, oh, I don't really want to admit that I'm still kind of thinking and doing that. I just want to jump that step because that's kind of yucky and painful or embarrassing or whatever. And it's like, can we have like, this is the truth. Can we be in integrity with, I want that result, but I haven't quite done the process yet to get there. And so that's why it's kind of whack-a-mole with the results. So have a lot of grace, have some, humility, compassion, and for certain, they're going to get there. And I'll just give you one example, what that looks like. I gave a couple earlier, but maybe say another one is like with movement. Maybe you're feeling really, really overwhelmed by movement. Your history is no pain, no gain. And you kind of swing from like being excessive and not body led to like just kind of dissociative. I don't want to do anything. I'm scared of it or I dread it with movement, let's say. So you're not going to be this kind of flexible ideal you want to get to. That's like, movement's great, but I can take it or leave it. I can move. And I've found activity I like and I don't overdo it or I don't do it at all. It could be, okay, can I just, how can I make a little bit of movement more safe? And sometimes it's our mindset first to work on it. Who says it has to be so hard? Or you have to sweat a lot or whatever, honestly, whatever barriers you're bumping up against. Look at your motives and look at how you actually think about it. That might be week 1. What do I really think exercise is supposed to look like? Week 2 might be, so if exercise doesn't have to be hardcore, CrossFit, kind of stuff, and going every day or a certain amount or whatever. And it could just be that, wow, when I stand up out of my chair, I, stretch a little bit, I feel better. Can I allow that to be good enough? And you're going to find that like part of you's like, oh yes, that can be good enough. And then part of you's going to be like, well, that doesn't do anything. You're not going to get results there. Bingo. We're still seeing exercise as a way to manipulate the body size to get something versus this inherent activity that can make us feel like more vital or whatever. And then you keep progressing with that. And then you might find you actually progress with your movement because the pressure's off now to achieve something. Even if you do want to see yourself feel better, that's not bad. It's just the motive of how you're getting there matters a lot. How you talk to yourself and how you get there matters a lot because you're transforming your relationship with it. You can't use the same mindset to get you where you want to go. So I hope this video made sense to you. If it did, let me know. Share it with people you think could benefit from like a more balanced living in integrity with our values approach. That's kind of how we see what we do. And it's the, we do see it as the tortoise wins the race kind of process. And there you go. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about this, want more examples, and what kind of roadmap do you think would help you? I would love to hear that because I know we can read all the books and listen to the podcast, but we don't know how to implement it. And that's kind of what we're real passionate about is here is like, what are the barriers to going where you want to go? And it's sticking, right? We really look a lot into like what keeps us stuck and helping liberate that. So thank you so much. Take care and bye for now. Till the next video.